Torah ain't talking about what you talking about. Torah ain't saying what you say it's saying. Why you adding stuff? Why you adding your superstition and tradition and religion on Torah? What's going on, my people? Man, listen. So I ain't never seen so much superstition in my life. I've only been Torah observant a little bit more than a year, and I've, landed myself in a few different groups on Facebook. And coming out of this holiday season, I've seen so much confusion and condemnation. Like it's been crazy. So I just wanted to do a video to kind of clarify some things for people that are interested, for people that are confused. I know that people are going to do whatever is right in their own eyes, even if they can't point to something and be like, this is why I do it. People are going to do, especially in this movement, they're going to do whatever is right in their own eyes, according to their interpretation, according to their, religion. That's what they're going to do. I've learned that. I've been in this thing for like 14 months, how many ever months, I don't know, but I've learned that. But I just wanted to, bring something to your attention. All right. So I'm actually going to start in Ezekiel 36, starting at verse 26. It says, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. This is the new covenant. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my ordinances and do them. Now, I'm not going to torture you with all my Hebrew reading, but what I am going to highlight is this, bechukai. Now, the root word to this is ḥuqqôt. Now, this is a very specific word, and it's translated here as my statutes. It's literally a law. Now, for my ordinances, you got umishpatai, which is the mishpatim, his judgments. Okay, so you got two different things that you said that that are said that are going to be performed because we have the Ruach HaKodesh within us, right? I want you to memorize this word, ḥuqqôt. It's very specific. Okay, now we're going to move on to a lot of the verses that I've seen, fellow brothers and sisters bash or condemn one another all throughout this holiday season. So starting in Leviticus chapter 18, looking at verse 3, it says, after the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their statutes. And then he goes on to say, my ordinances shall ye do, and my statutes shall ye keep to walk therein. I am Yahweh Elohecha. You shall therefore keep my statutes and mine ordinances, which if a man do, he shall live by them. I am Adonai. Okay. Now, this is something very specific. Number one, verse 3 is your opening. If you read it in context, this is literally about perversion. But for the sake of this clause that we're looking at, verse 3 is the opening, and then verse 3 is contrasted with verse 4. It's saying, don't do what they do, you shall do what I do. Now, just real quick, we see the mishpatai, and we just seen that in Ezekiel 36, 26, and 27. And another thing that we actually see, hold on, mishpatai, tasu, ve'et, okay, here it is here, ḥuqqôt. Here it's in the first person. It's a possessive ḥuqqtai. So it's literally what we just looked at in Ezekiel 36, 26, 27. But the root to this is ḥuqqôt, the same thing, the statutes. All right. And we're going to get to what those are and what this is actually talking about. But I want to run through all these verses real quick. Now, going to Leviticus chapter 20, you see, I already got it highlighted. Looking at verse 23, and you shall not walk in the customs of the nation, which I am casting out before you, for they did all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. Now, this is contrasted to this. You shall therefore keep all my statutes and all mine ordinances and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein vomit you not out. Now, again, this is, you got my statutes, et kol ḥuqqótai, ve et kol mishpatai. Now, this is the same mishpatim and the same ḥuqqót that we've been looking at, the same two words in Ezekiel 36, 26, and 27, the ones that the Ruach HaKodesh is going to allow us to walk in or cause us to walk in. And here it's contrasted again, and you shall not walk in the customs of the nation. Velo telchu beḥuqqót. Okay? Beḥuqqót. Ḥuqqót. Those statutes you shall not walk in. Let me just cut to it because we're already at 5 minutes. So I'm going to drag this over. Okay. I was prepared to run through all of these, but just for the sake of time, so you can get the gist and the reason I'm making this video. So you had Israel. Israel had their Torah, right? They had their ḥuqqót, their mishpatim. They had their testimonies, their judgments, you know, and then you had these other nations that had different ḥuqqót. Now, if you go and look at the text of all these other nations, then this is not all inclusive. This is just examples. But if you go and look at them, you got the Anuma Anu Enlil. It includes a priesthood and specific laws for worship according to reading the Shemaim, the skies. So an example straight from this source document right here. An example is if oh, y'all can't see that. My bad. Hopefully that's better. Okay, my bad. If Venus stands in the sky at sunset and appears in the month of Sabatu, which is January or February, somewhere in there, an offering must be made to Ishtar. Now, this is a very specific ḥuqqót, a very specific statue. And these texts are filled with specific statues. You got the Barutu, however you pronounce it. And if it's Semitic, I assume it's Barutu. But it includes a priesthood and specific laws for worship according to liver examination, liver from a sacrificed lamb. Based on the reading of the liver, so the priest would take out the liver and examine it. So there are required offerings, purification, royal rites, etc. So they literally have like a law on how to read the liver in order to know what to do. All right. you got Maklu, includes priesthood and specific laws for. Now, when I say specific laws, I'm talking about ḥuqqót, okay, for spiritual warfare. You shall burn the figurine. This is an example. You shall burn the figurine of the witch and the warlock in the fire. Figurine made to represent the enemy, burned at night while incantations are recited. You got the famous Ugaritic text, but they have rituals within their corpus. It says it includes a priesthood, has a fixed calendar, worship cycle, has specific rituals for sacrificing, custom to each god. There was a lot there, so I didn't want to write everything down. And by the way, this app is lovely for study. I'm going to start using this a lot. But anyways, then you have the Hittite ritual text. It includes a priesthood and laws for worship. An example, they take bread, wine, oil, and wool. They set them before the gods. The priests recite the words 3 times. This is literally a quote from their text. It's their instructions, ḥuqqót. Okay. So you got the Tophet of Carthage. Vows fulfilled through offerings, and they were offering infants to Baal Haman and to Tanit. And then I added this in here just because, you know, it's January 5th, but you got the Janus. So this is text. This is like source document quotes, you know, beginnings belong to Janus. From him, sacrifice takes its start. Why? Because it's a calendar transition. So sacrifices were offered to Janus before any other deity. Worship was oriented to the threshold, meaning the gate or the door. Prayers offered to Janus. Temple door ritual, and they had their signs. You know what I'm saying? Door open is war. Door closed was peace. So what am I getting at? And sorry, I just had to cut to the chase. What am I getting at? I'm getting at, let us not be superstitious, man. Please. Like, it was crazy what I was seeing. And then like how Torah was being used to bash people for going to eat with their family. Listen, Torah does not regulate those type of customs. Going to eat with your family, shooting fireworks, this is American tradition. It's not ḥuqqôt. Israel was commanded by the Torah, by Yah, not to adopt religious ḥuqqôt, laws, customs. They were commanded not to emulate worship methods. They were commanded not to absorb cultural religious identity. It ain't got nothing to do with barbecue chicken and chilling with the fam bam on December 31st. Like, it was crazy. Everybody throwing all this stuff around, and I'm like, what is actually going on? As a matter of fact, let me do this one real quick. Jeremiah chapter 10. Already at 10 minutes. I'm gonna do it real quick. Hear ye the word which Yah speaks unto the people, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yah, learn not the way of the nations, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the nations are dismayed at them. For the customs of the peoples are vanity. Ki ḥuqqôt. It's always talking about ḥuqqôt. And to be like specific, where we at? Okay. The Enuma Nu and Leo, this is specifically like everything is guided by their readings of the Hashemayim. Venus, if you got a sunset, the king might have to, go in hiding, and everything was read by the stars and the planets, and eclipse and stuff like that. They got laws for what to sacrifice, when to sacrifice, how to sacrifice. That's what this is talking about. It's not talking about going and eating barbecue chicken with the fam bam. It's crazy. So, and another thing I want to highlight real quick is we've got to know the difference between origin and function. You have got to know the difference between origin and function. So if something has pagan origin, that doesn't mean today its function is pagan. Now, if we were in a culture with real open paganism, to where there was idols everywhere and people were doing weird stuff all around us, then they'd be functioning pagans. Okay, but calling Monday, Monday, as we all know, is a pagan day. It's a pagan name, but it doesn't function like that anymore. So we're not pagan by saying Monday. Same thing with Saturday. How many of y'all have said Shabbat's on Saturday? What? Really? Shabbat? Holy day of Yah is on Saturn's day? What are we talking about? But we feel comfortable saying that because those names don't function according to their pagan origins. So people saying, oh, it's not really a new year. It is a civic new year. And I bet you file your taxes for the year 2025 before April or May, whenever the cutoff date is. Come on, man. Like, let's have, grace. It's not even having grace. It's having common sense. Like, what's a Nissan? What Nehemiah and Ezra and them talking about? They went into Babylonian captivity. Only thing we knew was Aviv as far as the months go. And then from there, second month, third month, fourth month, fifth month, they go to the Babylonian captivity. The Babylons had a very similar calendar to theirs. on a 7-day cycle. They come out of Babylon captivity. They talking about the month of Nisan. What's that? Go look that up. Why is that in the Bible? And why are Israelites using that verbiage? Like, we gotta be for real, man. Don't fall into superstition. That's bondage. That's crazy. And if you got a personal conviction, I can't say nothing about your personal conviction. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what this video is about. I'm not trying to sway anybody left or right, but I am stating this truth claim. Torah does not regulate cultural similarities, cultural tradition. So, for example, if you're in America, okay, you're allowed to say it's year 2026. If you're an American, you say Happy New Year's, you're not practicing paganism. So if you think somebody's practicing paganism by saying Happy New Year's, then, you know, who can change that? That's what you want to think. And I ain't got no problem with that. But the moment you try to use Torah to justify your thoughts when Torah's not saying that, boom, that's when we got a problem. Because now you're making Torah look bad. Torah ain't talking about what you talking about. Torah ain't saying what you say it's saying. Why are you adding stuff? Why are you adding your superstition and tradition and religion on Torah? Torah ain't regulating that. Torah is talking about specific real things. Sacrificing infants, passing kids through fire. They're talking about the real statues of these pagan nations that Yah drove out before them. Like, they ain't talking about no saying Happy New Year's. Come on, bro. That was embarrassing. That was crazy. If anybody wants to debate this topic, hit me up, stayinthevision@gmail.com. We can put it on live, or we can do a private debate. Don't really matter to me. Or if anybody just wants to build on this, hit me up, stayinthevision@gmail.com. That's stayinthevision@gmail.com. If you just want to get in the comments and comment, like, I ain't got nothing for you. I'm so done with comments over this past holiday season and people just saying random stuff and running to Google and Chat GPT. Like, come on, bro. If you want to have a real conversation, we can have it. If not, miss me with the comments, or you can comment all you want. Just don't expect a response. I don't owe you one. I told you how to contact me if you want to debate or you want to discuss this further. Hit me up, stayinthevision@gmail.com. My God really conquered my flesh, Torah, Yehovah, Meshiva, 9 flesh, Menucha, Shabbat, 7-day, God bless, Kodesh, give them no flesh, we can progress, church vote, skip the context, twist the motex, yes, yeah, 56, homie, you should know this, got bars caked up, can't sugarcoat this, but they're over your head, you ain't even know this, try to focus, Jezebel, got a cold kiss, brand new, but you don't know what the old is, or the motive, or what them 4 ropes is. Then you point at your word as you misquote it.